Hello, friends from the comic book and manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to talk about the January 26th, 2026 FOC. It's 2626.
Yeah.
Uh, if you are new to our videos, then welcome. We work for PRH, Penguin Random House International. So we sell titles around the world, essentially, and we represent various publishers that you'll see uh, presented here. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Instagram and on Twitter, on Facebook at PRH International Comics, where we post some news and updates on those channels. Those details are going to be linked below. So we'll go ahead and get started on our picks for this week. And actually, first up is me. This is Stimulus coming out of Dark Horse. This is written by Daniel Friedman and with a whole bunch of artists on this work. So various characters here. So we have like a mind reader hell bent on crime. There is a soldier turned hitman, earthly homunculus, crystal women, men made of stars, deviant frog people, sorceress, succubi, Space Force pilots. I'm like listing it off. Avenging vampires, like this sentient, sentimental AI constructs, alien voyeurs, demon spawn. I could go on, and there is more in this list.
And you can
And
see a lot of it on the
you
cover, which is
can
great.
see it here. There's mercenary
Yeah.
thieves. Essentially, we have a whole collection of like a cast of characters here. This is filled with people who have unfulfilled prophecies, stolen principles, lost narratives, like people like aimlessly existing here. So you can think of this as like a science fiction graphic novel with that like features these 12 different stories, but they're all interconnecting stories. And I think it's quite interesting because it's not just you have like so many different races and species that are being told here and narrated with these stories. And so it's a very interesting way to sort of collect these narratives together and present the story in this way. So obviously, we have Daniel Friedman as the writer here, but then you're gonna have like a roster of like a whole bunch of international artists. So I do highly recommend checking this out. I'm very curious about this piece of work as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
I'm
enjoy.
curious. Yeah, I'm curious how they can fit all those characters into 184 pages. That's what I'm curious about. Because it feels
Yes.
like it's such an epic and so big that yeah, I feel like every corner of every page is going to be filled with different things to
I
look
want to
at.
know about the goose.
Yeah, the
The goose
goose.
with the hat. What is
Yeah, the
that
Kate.
story?
Yeah, I know. Like Mother Goose is
I
in
know
it.
that's very vague, but I can
Yeah.
only really be vague because it is just like it's their stories, and you have to read their
Yeah.
stories in this
Yeah.
collection. So, but I like how it is that they are interconnected in some way. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
it's a trade
Awesome.
paperback, I should say.
Yes, it's a great pack. And then we continue with one of my cover picks. This is Endeavor number 3. This is cover B by Stephanie Hans, 5 copy variant. And this is the uh, c- continuation. This is the final issue, I should say, of this story about a group of children who are um, basically castaway, or not castaway, but like lost in at sea in this cruise ship gone wrong, basically. So much has happened. Somebody and it's getting to a point where in the story, um, where well, it's the last issue, so a lot of things are gonna happen. But let's talk about. I should say this is written by Stephanie Phillips and illustrated Mark Lemming. But this cover by Stephanie Hans is so cool. I talk about Stephanie Hans covers all the time because I love her art, and I love that. Distillery. It's not just bigger format, but also does all these wraparound covers and the art. You're able to see sort of a panavision of the art like this, and you have one of the characters on a life boat or a life raft outside the ship, floating in the water. I love the effect of having the water, and you see what's above and what's underneath, and you see some sharks sort of circling around, and you see maybe out of her hands some sort of ominous liquid, poisonous maybe because it forms a skull underwater. You also see some what appears to be maybe some bodies floating like uh from the bottom, just like uh yeah, some figures covered in maybe cloth back there. There's a lot going on. The colors and the detail on this are amazing. I love that her there's a little bit of a glow on her too that is also very ominous. But and it's just everything uh makes me want to keep reading this, and it's such a creepy but beautiful image to look at. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Next up.
my next pick is American Keeper issue 4. This is the cover B by David Lapham. Um, if you've been watching our videos, we have previously picked this before, but in
Hmm.
case you haven't and you don't know anything about it, the story is about two neighbors. One of them is a Mormon hitman, and the other is a gambling addict lawyer, and they are both intertwined because it's a deal gone wrong with the both of them in real estate. Um, Mix in those characters with this Mexican beauty queen on the run for her past, and two escaped convicts in love, a Wall Street billionaire who has become a cowboy. So these other characters are mixed in to the narrative here, where we have like these whole host of characters. American culture has essentially become war about real estate, violence, snake oil, and you can think of this story as like a brutal satire that reflects, especially now, the current political uh, happenings. Uh, Lots of political happenings that are occurring right now. Yeah, I just thought it was a very striking cover. It's a big eye
Yeah,
and reflected in the eye, uh, a guy with a gun or rifle.
yeah, gangster looking guy.
Not a rifle, but it's a long. I don't know my
Shotgun,
guns.
like a shotgun
Shotgun.
or
There we
something.
go.
Yeah,
But yeah.
there you go. Yep. And next up is Inglorious X Force number two. This is the Fanyang variant. And this is there's a regular with trade dress, and there's a virgin version which is a 1 in 100. This continues the story of the new X Wars run. I'm just going to read real quick. It's hell to pay. Halverine must face demonic temptation, and it's all part of Cable's secret agenda. Plus, meet the hidden agent who's been stalking X Force from the shadows. The mysteries deepen, and the action amplifies as the true mission comes into focus. This is written by Team Silly, and it's illustrated by Michael Santamaria. And like I said, this illustration is by Fan Yang, which if you don't know, you should check out all these artists' art online. I went online and saw very beautiful art all over the place. And we have Domino, which is such a cool character that I think we need to have more of. And I love that she is in front of the sort of the dart board, and instead of darts, she's like has all these laser. sights on her. There's blood spatter on the walls. She has her two guns, and she's not worried about all the sights because, of course, her powers of bad luck. Well, anything can happen. So very cool. I love the perspective of this. It looks like she's like in a maybe a bar or a casino where there's like these tropical plants all around, and you see some of them in front of the camera out of focus. So I love the whole perspective of this, and I love especially the way her look. Her look is amazing. So um, there you go. That's my next pick.
Okay, next up, this is Amazing Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral Issue 1 Stonehouse Carnage variant. Oh gosh. Apologies, I was supposed to put in the artist here, but I do not know. I'll have to look into that or I'll put it in the description at some point. Um, but something to this was believe announced at New York Comic Con at one of the panels. And this is essentially where the Spider-Man and Venom crossover starts in this kickoff event and this one shot. Essentially, it will bring new readers up to speed on what's happening, so that you could pick it up if you haven't been reading either of those series. But after this issue on one shot, this will continue through upcoming issues of Amazing Spider-Man issues number 23 to 27, and also will continue into Venom issue 255 and 257, all the way up until April. So the premise of this, we have this new superpowered serial killer is on the loose, and they're coming for Spidey, Venom, and everyone else that is in the way. But what terrible secret has Carnage learned, and what does this really have to do with Spider-Man? Um, yeah, so I just picked this one because I thought this was the most striking cover. You're not seeing this, but one of them, the final cover may vary with this one, but we have the trade dress, and then there's
Hmm.
also the virgin variant that you see here.
Yeah, and it's J.H. Stonehouse is the artist, and
Oh,
I
it's the
do
still,
know
yeah,
that's what Stonehouse is.
stone
And then
houses. I have to look into him as in his previous works,
yeah, and
but
there's several of this. So there's sort of a similar one, similar, not the same, but with Venom, and then I think it's all the one with Spider-Man also on the same
nice.
issue. So just so you know.
Does it tell you the ratio for
No.
okay.
Where I'm
Okay.
looking, I didn't look where I could see the
Okay, okay,
ratio.
okay,
Sorry.
okay. Apologies,
But
everyone.
I'm sure there's a ratio on the Virgin,
There is
obviously.
definitely a ratio, I'm sure, for the
Yeah, yeah,
Virgin
yeah.
variant. I just don't have that right now. But
Yes.
yes.
Anyway. Next up is Power Rangers Prime number 15, cover E, and this one does have the ratio on there, 1 in 25 incentive, full art by Francesco Tomaselli. This is obviously written by Melissa Flores and illustrated by Federico Sorresa. Um, and this is the penultimate chapter in the Prime Power Rangers Adventures, and yeah, they're all going all out, and you can see it on this cover with the, you know, it's a very cool team set of posing and looking very badass right there on the cover. Beautiful art by Francesco Tomaselli. Not much more I need to say about this. So cool to look at. Yep.
Okay,
Next
and
up.
then next up. All right. Before we go forward, this is a 1 in 50 ratio incentive variant, the Stonehouse Virgin variant.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And then moving forward, um, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is A Rite of Spring, issue 6. This variant is done by Beals. And so with this one, it's the series finale for this cozy horror hit. Everyone's been talking about Beneath the Trees. We have the main character, Samantha Strong, who made her choice, and Woodbrick will never be the same. That's very iconic location in the story if you've been reading it for some time. So obviously for fans, you don't want to miss out on this conclusion. Again, the Rite of Spring is a follow-up to the original run. So yes, I chose this cover. This is the Dr. Seuss of the Places You'll Go homage cover. I just thought it was a good way to conclude the series because obviously the Dr. Seuss book is so iconic for like rites of passage,
Hmm.
achievements and milestones, especially here in the US, where people give the book for graduation, birthdays, or like for milestones. So it is a milestone in a way, where we're concluding with this issue. So yeah, I just thought, and of course it's very gory. It has to be
Yeah.
some tinge of what appears to be innocent,
Yeah.
but blood-soaked in this case.
Exactly. And next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Godzilla number four. This is first variant C on the left with the trade dress, and then on the right you have the ratio incentive 1 in 25 with full art, both by Jorge Corona. This is continuing the story by Tim Seeley and Fero Pe. Uh, and I believe this might be the penultimate. I don't see it. Maybe I shouldn't say that yet. But anyways, but it continues the story of the turtles and the Godzilla world, and I guess uh, Rocksteady and Bebop are now giant kaiju's uh, because of a kaiju Tajin. I mean, I guess some sort of mutagen that is a kaiju Tajin. And now in this issue, we'll see Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo also use the kaiju Tajin. And Leonardo, you gotta meet Leonardo's Godzilla form, Raphael's Rodan form, and Mikey's King Ghidorah form. Can't wait to check those out. But let's talk about this cover by Jorge Corona. I love that the turtles are under, right, in the sewers, kind of looking out and kind of hiding out from Godzilla. And you can tell because you see the reflection on the water, uh, on the streets, on the cobblestone streets. I love the concept of this, but I also love how beautiful it looks. How Horikoran is very good with doing all these illustration with so much detail, a lot of lines, and it must have been really hard to get that effect of the reflection of Godzilla on there. But it also very cool how they all look like sardines in the in the sewers. I love it so
I
much.
wonder if it's
Uh-huh.
if it's them running away or just opening it and be like, "Oh,
I
wrong
like,
way."
oh, oh,
Oops,
yeah.
let's not go this way.
It could be
Are they
either one.
going in or
Although
are they
they,
going out?
I
What
mean,
were they trying to do?
their looks are like definitely in a little bit of sort of okay, ready to either
It looks
battle
like they're
or run
trying to get
away.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, either
Like
way.
they're like don't know who's supposed to go out first. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're like trying to get out, but they can't because they're not
yeah.
letting one of them go out first. What I like about this is the sewage cap also has NYC on it.
Uh,
So
yeah, I like the ones, yeah, like the actual ones, which is great.
yes, yes.
Very good. Awesome.
All right. And that's it for our picks for this week. There is a piece of news before I get. No, let me just announce what it was online everywhere. Netflix Extraction Universe. They announced the leads for a Netflix film called Tygo. Before we get into all of this, there is a graphic novel named called Ciudad. I'll show it to you in the next slide. But that graphic novel is the basis of the Extraction film and the series franchise.
Yeah.
So the graphic novel, again, which I will show you, um, is inspiration to that universe. What you're
Mhm.
seeing here is an announcement of lead actors for essentially like a spin-off, but it's still part of the same Extraction universe. And
Mhm.
so over to the left, you see Don Lee, who I really like Don Lee. He's also a fan of Hello Kitty, like me. But he acted in Train of Busan, so if you've watched that one, he was really good in that one. Of course, in the middle there, you cannot not know who she is. This is Blackpink's Lisa. She was in White Lotus. Obviously, she's part of the Blackpink K-pop girl group. And then standing next to her, we have Lee Jin-hyuk, who most notably starred in Squid Game. So they were announced as leads into the Tygo film that it's going to come out. Now,
I know.
going back, or the spin-off film, yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the actual graphic novel here, there is going to be, I mean, this came out some time ago, so it's going to return back into print in this beautiful collection that you see here. And a little bit about the premise of the graphic novel. We have Eva, who was kidnapped and taken to the worst place on Earth. And then we have another character named Tyler, who was hired to get her out. They're both trapped in a city that wants them both dead, and their hopes of getting out are fading fast. So they have to deal with these bloodthirsty criminals, corrupt police, and like to get a sense of like the type of environment they're in, you have like kids hiding like guns on themselves, and so they have to look out for any sorts of um, people moving about. So essentially, everyone wants them dead. It is the world of kidnapping criminals. You could think of this as like it's like an unrelenting action, nonstop story of urban survival. And the creative team on this is we have on writing Andy Parks. And then, but the creators of this is the Russo brothers, and also illustrated here is Fernando Leon Gonzalez, um, on the art here. So I do recommend if you are interested, and if you are planning, if you're interested in the Netflix adaptations, I do highly recommend checking out like the source inspiration, for the franchise, I should say.
Yeah.
This
And
goes
I
on sale later in the spring, just so that you know.
Yes. And there's going to be more. There was also announced there's going to be a series also. I trying to mercenaries. So Extraction Mercenaries also going to be part of it. So it's going to be that's why the announcement of the whole role is not just going to end with Extraction Tygo, and also there's another third Extraction with Chris Hemsworth Thor. And there's a lot of you know excitement for all of this because if you haven't checked out the first two movies, they're amazing. They're really good.
Mhm,
If you like
mhm.
action movies, you need to check out the Extraction movies. And also, I'm surprised that you mentioned Hello Kitty, but you mentioned that Lisa is a big fan of Labubu. So
Oh
I'm
yes, I
surprised
forgot. I forgot.
for Labubu fans out there also.
Yeah, for Lububu fans.
And yeah, and
Um,
Donnelly was also in Eternal, so there's a Marvel connection there too.
the Marvel connection. Yes.
Yes.
He essentially, yeah,
On top of the Chris
on
Hemsworth
top
being
of.
in Thor, being Thor. Yeah, yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. Thank you all for joining us. As always, we enjoy doing these videos. Comment down below on what you'll be interested in picking up for this FOC. And yeah, with that, goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.